Hi, welcome to this video on finding the area of a trapezoid. Okay, so to find the area of a trapezoid, you are going to multiply the dimensions that meet at a right angle, just like you would for any other parallelogram or shape, except normally if this was like a rectangle or a parallelogram, it would be the same on the top and bottom. So it would kind of go all the way out to here, right? And you would multiply the base 22 times the height of 7. But it's not a rectangle, it's a trapezoid. So if I'm going to multiply the height times the base, then I would have to decide, well, which one of these bases would I use? Would I use the top one that's smaller or the bottom one that's bigger? So we don't do that. We don't choose which one to do. Instead, we take the average of them. So we add the bases together and then divide by 2. And that's the base that we use, the average. So when you see it in the formula, it's written like this. Base 1, that's the top, plus base 2. Nice handwriting. Okay, so there's the top and the bottom, multiplied by the height, but you have to multiply that by a half. So that's why the half comes in. What they're saying is you're going to take the two bases, add them together, and divide by 2, that's the average, and then you multiply that by the height. So that's where the formula comes from. There's a couple of different ways of deriving that formula, but you should have now in this box that the area is 1/2 times the height of the trapezoid times base plus base. There. So how am I going to use that here, and why are there 3 A's? So the first thing I'm going to do in the first A is, as usual, I'm going to write the formula. So let me pause and do that for you. Okay, so I find the height in the trapezoid the same way I find the height in the triangle. I look for that perpendicular distance between the two bases. So I look for the segment they've drawn down to say, okay, this is how wide this is, and I look for that right angle to know that I found the height. And then the bases are always the two sides that are parallel to each other. So those are our bases. So now when I do my substitution part, I'm going to write 1/2 times 7, because that's the height. And then in the parentheses, I'm going to write the top, which is 12, plus the bottom, which is 22. And now I simplify. Okay, so when I multiplied, I got 119 units squared because it's area. So don't let a trapezoid like this fool you. It's still a trapezoid because it only has 2 parallel sides, and the other sides of this quadrilateral are not parallel, so it's still a trapezoid. And it's the same formula. So when I substitute in, again, the height is the distance between the 2 parallel sides, the perpendicular distance between the 2 parallel sides. So that's 3. So 1/2 times 3. Oh boy, this is bad. Oh my goodness. My stylus pen doesn't work. So then inside the parentheses is going to be the sum of the two bases. So 5 plus 7, which is 12. So I can put this in the calculator exactly as is. 1/2 times 3 parentheses 5 plus 7, close the parentheses, hit enter. It's going to work. Or I can just do the order of operations and get 12, then half of 12 is 6, and 6 times 3 is 18. So you should get 18 centimeters squared. So that's it. It's really just a matter of being able to recognize what the little letters in the formula represent and finding those things in your shape and then substituting in properly. And that's it. So